They just can't help themselves. As Formula One's epic title fight continues on track, Red Bull's drawing attention to Mercedes' straight line speed and trying to make it all seem rather curious. Red Bull claimed it can't get near Mercedes' straight line speed at the Turkish Grand Prix, with Christian Horner declaring it surprising that Mercedes could have made such a step and pointed the finger squarely at its engine performance. This is not the first time this season we've been forced to explain some off-track hearsay between the two championship challengers, as the tension of the title fight leads to all sorts of claims, counterclaims, and maybe a dash of paranoia. But is there any substance to what Red Bull's saying? And might it have something to do with Mercedes' ongoing reliability concerns? This year's World Championship battle has taken place against a backdrop of various Red Bull and Mercedes quarrels, including comments made from both organisations about the other's engine performance and speed on the straights. Mercedes started the year with a straight-line speed edge before Red Bull looked superior in France and Austria, which it put down to running skinnier rear wings. Since then, Mercedes seems to have re-established its advantage. The speculation escalated when Red Bull lodged a query with the FIA believed to relate to the Mercedes plenum system in its internal combustion engine, although the FIA is understood to have not taken any action. In Turkey, Mercedes had a performance advantage that Red Bull team boss Horner suggested came primarily on the straights. Lewis Hamilton had a fresh engine for the Istanbul weekend and took a grid penalty as a result, with his speed in the race catching Horner's eye. Hamilton spent the race trying to recover from 11th and fought with AlphaTauri's Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly and Red Bull driver Sergio Perez in the process, giving Red Bull a close look at where Hamilton's Mercedes was strongest. Horner claimed that some of the speed advantages Hamilton had on the back straight were around 15 to 20 km/h, which he alleged was more than if the drag reduction system had been active. We can't see exactly what Red Bull say they've seen and have less hard data to go off. Speed trap figures can often be deceptive, but they do offer a snapshot of performance, even accounting for variables like a strong toe or, when it's active, the DRS. In Turkey, Hamilton had the second highest speed trap figure behind Charles Leclerc, who was running a low downforce setup. Having spent chunks of his race tucked in rival slipstreams down the long back straight, Hamilton's top speed was 7.7 km/h faster than Sergio Perez and 13.6 kph faster than Max Verstappen, who spent the majority of the race out of a tow and had the slowest speed trap best of any driver. That's not quite the 15 to 20 kph Horner was referring to, but we're only seeing the absolute maximum data points there rather than various speed comparisons through the Grand Prix. Horner was either convinced or just keen to play some games. He said of Mercedes, their straight-line speed has taken a significant step recently. Whereas we could match them with smaller wings previously, now we can't get near. And we saw that particularly at this circuit, where Lewis in particular had a significant straight-line advantage with a bigger rear wing on the car. It's surprising that they appear to have made the step that they have with the power unit. It's hard to know exactly what Horner was implying with that remark, but Mercedes is not allowed to introduce an in-season performance upgrade because it's already used its one permitted specification change since the end of 2020. So if Horner's hinting at Mercedes changing something to make its engine more powerful, that has serious connotations. Regardless of perceived performance gains, there is already a fascinating engine subplot within the title run-in because of Mercedes' apparent reliability problems. Mercedes had previously admitted to having question marks over its engine reliability, with Hamilton's teammate Valtteri Bottas having 3 new engines in 4 events and Mercedes customer teams also experiencing problems. We shared a video on this before Turkey that contains plenty of useful context, so you might want to check that one out in full. In Istanbul, we learned a little more about what Mercedes is battling, and there are suggestions this could be tied to the performance apparently unlocked by Hamilton's fresh engine. Hamilton only had a 10-place penalty because the only new element he took in Turkey that exceeded his limit was a new internal combustion engine Mercedes added to his pool. That indicated the V6 is where Mercedes had an issue, as it continued with the same hybrid system components. When we put this to Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff, he replied, "Well spotted. We have seen examples of unusual noises within the combustion engine that aren't completely understood at that stage, and therefore caused some trouble in the past. We had engines that basically failed, and now it's about containing the problem." To be completely clear, the hybrid elements are of no concern to Mercedes, as Wolff said they are in wonderful shape and easily within the mileage limits. Wolff said that Mercedes is not sure how far it can take Hamilton's slightly older ICE, but added that there was more to his reference to containment than just managing the mileage. He said it's also about understanding a different reliability topic. It's possible that Mercedes' efforts to unleash more power with its engines this season have come at a reliability cost, with suggestions of different materials in the V6 causing issues. Why an underlying issue would only be exposed at this stage of the season is unclear, but it could be the timing is merely coincidence. Maybe it's something as simple as a bad batch of these sensitive components being produced. Whatever the cause, Horner wondered if it could be related to the perceived step in performance from Mercedes. Maybe Mercedes can only access the full potential of the engine when it's fresh. There is also naturally some degradation over a power unit's life. There's a long-term risk for Mercedes here as well, as next year's power units will be homologated at the first race and be kept in that specification for multiple seasons. Although reliability fixes will be permitted after that date, it puts a deadline on striking the right balance between performance and reliability. Wolff insisted that Mercedes will not be carrying any deficits into next year because the problems are being understood, and he reiterated that in the meantime it's about finding solutions to contain these issues. Hamilton only has a 6-point lead over title rival Max Verstappen in the championship, so a reliability issue could decide the outcome of their battle. That, plus the noise surrounding the two teams' engine performance, adds further edge to a finely poised title battle. But as Hamilton and Verstappen have each had their first penalty-inducing engine changes of the season, the next time they take any of these fresh power unit elements, it will only be a 5-place grid penalty rather than 10 places or a back of the grid start. That could make more strategic changes worthwhile, as it's a less significant punishment. Just as interesting for the championship fight is that Turkey was the latest race in which Mercedes had a small advantage over Red Bull. Since Verstappen won at Zandvoort, Red Bull's been slower in Italy, Russia and Turkey. That's been reassuring for Mercedes, which at one stage during the summer was doubting whether it had a car capable of beating Red Bull to the championship. Every team had to combine the development of its 2021 car with preparing for F1's new delayed rule set in 2022. Mercedes and Hamilton feared their competitiveness would tail off too much at the end of the season, particularly as Red Bull was being more proactive with in-season development. But Mercedes has enjoyed a much more competitive second half of the year. Valtteri Bottas took pole in the sprint race win at Monza, while Hamilton claimed his 100th F1 win at Sochi. Mercedes then had the fastest car in all conditions in Turkey, where Bottas dominated the race and Hamilton only missed out on the podium despite his penalty because of a strategic error. And the relief in the team was almost palpable afterwards. Mercedes trackside engineering director Andrew Shovlin said, "It looks like a car that can win championships. It's really reassuring that now we're getting into the last 6 races, we've shown we've got a package that can out-qualify them on a Saturday and out-race them on a Sunday." Hamilton was at a loss for an explanation for Mercedes' recent strength, given nothing has been added to the car. He suspects that the tracks have simply suited Mercedes more than Red Bull. But Wolff believes one factor is that Mercedes has had more and more time to understand its car since the 2021 floor rule changes that hampered the low-rake Mercedes. Wolff described the car as being definitely in a much better place than it was in spring and summer. That means Mercedes has a car it now believes is capable of beating Red Bull to the championship and an engine that might have its rivals concerned. But that same engine has been causing headaches back at Mercedes as well. So, any guesses how this one will play out? Might Mercedes' engine be the key variable that decides both championships, either through pure performance or poor reliability? Let us know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then please show your approval by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, we'd be honoured if you would change that, hit the red button, and join us again for more videos in the future.